Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. So here with Ali, Dose of Inspiration, and today we have a special guest all the way from Manchester, UK. He's an author, a speaker, a motivational speaker, and she is a personal development coach who is striving to inspire and to motivate so people reach their potential. And she is like to ignite, to spark the big dream that people reaching for. She is the person to go to. And here, my friend Tarnia Col Coley.
Yes.
Coley, here we go. Take it from there, my friend, and give us a little introduction about yourself. And it's my pleasure, my honor to have you, my friend.
Thank you, Ali, for inviting me to your amazing show. You are absolutely amazing. Like we said before, we are in the presence of greatness, everybody. Ali is such an amazing person. Thank you. It's an honor and a privilege to be asked to be a guest. Like you said, I'm from Manchester, England. I'm an author of 2 books. My recent book, The Simple Way to Get Motivated, I think it's quite apt for now, for people's mindset, the pandemic, and shifting our focus. So it's a 365 motivational book to help you inspire.
Sorry to interrupt. What's the book called?
The Simple Way to Get Motivated.
The Simple Way to Get Motivated. Okay.
Yeah, and it's just 365 very short verses to read in the mornings or last thing at night to inspire you, to motivate you, to lift you up. And it is available on Amazon.
Nice.
Yeah, and I'm also a coach, like you said, and a speaker, which I love to inspire and motivate others to live their life of purpose on purpose.
Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you for sharing that with me, Tanya. And this is actually our topic, our theme for today: living a life of purpose, a meaningful life, intentional life. What does that mean to you, Tanya? Intentional life with purpose.
It's doing it on purpose. It's not, for me, we mentioned this before we came on air, we can glide through life or we can just stay in our comfort zone because obviously it's comfortable. We're not really stretched, we're not really challenged, we're just gliding through. And then months, years later, we look and reflect. We haven't really accomplished much because we've stayed in our comfort zone. And one of the biggest reasons is because of fear. And in my book, Open Doors, I write about fear, and it's called that false evidence appearing real. For me, I lived in a lot of fear. So I wasn't living intentionally because of, fear of failure. What if it doesn't work out? What will people say? Who do you think you are? All those things, those self-sabotaging beliefs.
Mm-hmm.
And so you have to live purposefully. What is it that you want to pursue? What is your passion? Go for it. And that's what I think about living intentionally, doing what you're purposed to do.
Mm-hmm. Beautifully. I like what you just said. Fear. It's false evidence appearing
real.
Oh
yeah,
my
it's
God.
An illusion. It's an
illusion.
illusion.
Yeah, people like get scared of something and they create it in their mind, and they be a prisoner of their fear, and it's not even real.
Yeah, I've been there, and it's horrible. You feel trapped.
Yeah, I hear you. I've been there too for a long time.
Yeah.
But the moment I realized that fear was actually my friend, was actually a gift, was actually like someone who's just like tapping me and telling me, buddy, just go for it. I promise you will get freedom. You will get a lot achieved when you go over that fear.
Yes.
And before I used just to sit down and just like, oh my God, this is, and you just create scenario in your head and build up on the top of it. Like no ending scenario. It's crazy. Yeah. The mind is so powerful. Like how much can we be trapped in the illusion?
Our mindsets. I always talk to my clients about fortify your mind, and that is so critical. You have to fortify your mind. And what does that look like? What are you doing when you get up in the morning? Are you just rolling around and like, oh, it's another day. Oh, it's another day. Get up intentionally to pursue your goals and your dreams, whatever that is. What are you reading? We're encouraged, aren't we, Ali, by Les Brown, to read 30 pages a day of something motivational. What are you watching? Is it just the news, scrolling through and flicking through Netflix? Are you just gliding by? No, it's the time to be intentional. So it's got to fortify our minds. We've got to structure it, because our minds, it's a fight. It's a daily fight. So we have to be intentional. It's a continuative process to renew our minds daily. And that is so key.
Wow, that's powerful. You just shared there. Like the mind setting our mind for success, like
Yes.
intentional living. Like when you
Yeah.
put the intention before you start anything, put the intention before it. I am like setting my mind to be intentional about what I'm doing. So when you are intentional, you are giving 100%. And I like what Mr. Brown, Miss Brown, said. Like these two, when we see life with these two things: mindset and eyesight.
Yes.
So the eyesight is just when we see the appearance, what do I see? But the mindset is what we see with our mind, with our attention, with our heart. And that's will direct our way of looking at things. It's amazing. Like, and you just mentioned too something that's really amazing, because daily structure, reading motivational, like 30 page, like Mr. Brown doing, like positive thing that you read, who you align yourself with, like your friend, your environment, all that affect you big time.
Wow, you know what, Ali, what you just said there about the environment is so key. We are the temperatures. Who have we got around us? Do we have those vacuums? You can have some vacuums around you, some friends that can just suck everything out of you. And then by the time you've left that conversation or left their presence, you're worse than when you actually went to see them. So it's really intentional. And I always say, who is in your circle? Because we have the power to lift people up or really drag people down. And Les Brown always says about let go or be dragged. And that is so key. Who do you have in your environment? And we've got to create our own environment. And if it's not purposeful for us or intentional for our growth, let it go.
Let it go. Yeah, it's all about letting go, honestly. And I think what you just said also about some people, like they drain you, like you come with a positive energy, and just like a sponge, they take everything good inside of you, and you walk and you said, whew, it's just like you walk with like almost like you have no energy. But when we put like almost like a shield, we put like a barrier.
Yeah.
Don't let, I used to be like that. I used to be like, I was an empath. I used to be like dealing with people and feeling for people, what they are going through. When I go home, I feel like have no energy. I feel everyone's pain. But with what I went through in life, it structured me. I built the muscle. So it's nice to have like sensitive, like emotion, but it has to be strong. It has to be kind of like protected, because it's nice to feel for others, but you see them and try to help them. But each one have their own journey. Each one have to go through their crap. Each one have to go through their life to figure it out. But when they figure it out, they will grow.
Yes.
And the growth is in rejection. Because rejection in itself is a redirection.
Wow. Yes. And directing us on a path that we should be on. And like you said about growing, everything is about being intentional with your growing. And I always talk about this morning routine. Once you've established your morning routine, and like we talked about before, fortifying your mind, what you're reading, what you're watching, it sets you on the right path for the rest of your day, because you're then more intentional, more purposeful in what you're doing and what you're set out to do. And then when you reflect back on your day, you've actually managed to achieve a lot more, as opposed to just strolling through and strolling towards your goals. You know, are you going to achieve anything just by strolling and not really achieving? And a key thing, I think, Ali, is about focus.
About focus.
Yeah. You've got
Okay.
to be focused, which I think is very important. Being intentional in your focus, what you're focusing on. What are you doing? Are you watching other people's journey? Are you watching them achieve their goals? And you're just sat there thinking, why isn't it happening to me? What, you know, what happened to me? What? Because you're watching other people. When you're watching other people, you know, what's that doing for you? You don't know their journey. You don't know their story. You know, you're judging them by their chapter 21 and you're on chapter 1. So it's about looking at where you are and what is it that I need to do? What productive action steps do I need to take? And then I focus on that, my journey. And then, yeah, we reach out to others if we need that support and guidance and help. But we've got to focus on our own path and where we're going, because we've all been destined and called to do something designed for each and every one of us. So we've got to continue to focus, which I think is key.
Beautiful what you just say, because that resonates with me. I used to watch what people doing or what people think of me or what people will say about me. And I was basically trying to, I read a book that's, I forget the author, but it's called Day One. It's about leadership and leadership from different perspectives. And in this book is a Canadian author from BC, I forget his name, but it's called Day One. And I even write that down. It's on my fridge, it's on my washroom and the mirror, in my bedroom, everywhere. He said, am I living up to what is important to me, or am I living to what is important to me, or am I living to fulfill a set of requirements that was imposed on me?
Wow, that's
Uh,
deep.
That's really deep. And when I look at it, every time I wake up in the morning, washing my face, look at the mirror, am I living to what is important to me as a
Yeah,
person? Or am I living to make my family happy, my friend
yeah,
happy, my environment happy? So people say, oh, look at him, he's doing that. But that's not intentional. That's not really who am I. But when I realized that, I felt almost like, I put it like this analogy, like I was reading people's book. I was studying people's book, trying to understand people, but I never read my own book. I am the
yeah,
author of my own book. I need to study my book. I need to edit
yeah,
it. I need to add
yeah,
chapter after chapter. And it doesn't matter how I start, but it matters how I finish.
exactly.
So that's
Ali, we've got to,
actually that
yeah, yeah.
actually that's actually a seed of a book that I'm thinking to write after I finish my first book in October 10. That will be my first book of the
Thinking, Ali, or going to do it.
Oh yeah,
You got to be,
yeah,
you got to
exactly.
be
I am doing it.
intentional. Come on,
I'm
Ali, you
doing
got to
it.
be intentional.
Think between bracket. I'm doing it. Thank you for catching that. Here we go. That's the intentional. I love it. This is the
We look forward
environment.
to reading that.
This is what we need. People like friend to be like this. When they see you doubting yourself, they're telling you no, doing it, not thinking.
You can do, you know, Ali, when we're talking about being intentional and setting goals and being focused, my first book, Open Doors, came out in 2018, and I wrote that in 6 weeks.
Really?
I
Wow.
wrote that in 6 weeks. Why? Because I was intentional. I had a goal, I had a focus, I had a plan, and nothing and nobody was going to stop Tanya from doing this. I was working full time at the time as a lecturer, married, 2 children, but I managed to do it because I was intentional about my goal, my purpose. Because my first book is about my journey, overcoming obstacles and challenges. But then I write about how I overcame them to help the reader also understand how you can also overcome anything. Because as Les Brown says, it's possible. And I encourage people, it's possible. You can overcome anything, but it's about that focus and your mindset. So I look forward to reading your book, Ali.
Oh yeah, I'm going to try to write it in 6 weeks. I am I'm doing it.
Good. Have a plan and
Oh
stick
yeah.
to it.
I'm having a plan, and that's why I put my next book is finishing on October 10, which is my birthday, at 10 o'clock in the
Oh.
morning. So because I call this year my year 2020, so
Mm-hmm.
I set it in my mind 10-10, which is my birthday. That's my gift to myself, and 10-10. So if you put 10-10, 10-10, that's 2020. which is my year.
Oh, come on now. Wow. That's real intentional. That is really intentional.
It is big time because I was supposed to finish it in May, then I was dragging. I said, okay, in June. I said, okay, in July. So I said, okay, this time it has to be October 10. It doesn't matter. This is my birthday, and since Corona hit, I've been living intentional living to the fullest, because to the top, because Corona been a blessing to me, honestly. It's been great and great, and it's even a lot of people. It's opened people's eyes toward intention,
Yes.
toward purpose, toward what is life. It's not
Yeah.
about running after chasing money, being working like 60 hours a week, come burned out, go to bed, wake up, do it again, without spending the time with your family, without even know what life means. And
Yes.
that's sad to see people like it. It's just like almost like a hamster wheel. It just run until you fall.
Yeah.
And they say, oh my God, I wish I did that. I wish I did that. I have a friend who wants to do a business. And every
Yeah.
time I see him, it's been 6 years now, and he say the same thing over and over. I want to do this, but he's just focusing on the how, but he never focus on the why.
Yes.
Now that's a big thing. We focus on the how. And for me, my philosophy in life, I don't worry about the how. If I have something I want to do it, I jump to it. Then I look for for resources after, because it forced me to do it, and it worked for me.
It works, Ali. If we just do it instead of thinking and sitting, and then years later you're still thinking and sitting about it. But no, it's about being intentional. Just go for it. Just do it, because we walk by faith and not by sight. So it's not about figuring out the plan, but we just go for it and just do it, and it works out every single time. You have a plan, you're intentional, you go for it, and things just occur and happen.
Can you repeat that? We work by faith.
Yeah, we work by faith and not by sight. So it's
Nice.
about not looking at how is it going to work out and planning it all out. Because when in 2018, I gave up my job. I didn't sit and think, oh, okay, how is it all going to fit? I left my job with a plan, and everything else is going to work out. And it did.
It's God.
That's
It's
faith right
all.
there.
It's all God. It's our God. Our God,
Yeah.
when it's telling us something, it's actually God talking to us through our God.
Yes.
Sometimes, how many times it happened to us, like our gut feeling telling us to do something, and we don't, and we find out that's the right thing we were supposed to do. And that's something that I start focusing, and I start, because when we said myself, me and myself, so there is two things, me and myself. So the gut feeling is coming from the self, the wise self. So I start creating a connection between me and the self, and instead of giving a good advice to people, I start to give it to myself and taking advices from myself and following it. And since I did that, I create a good relationship. I start to use the power of listening with myself. I start to use the life scale, like
Yeah.
from scale 1 to 20. How satisfied are you? 10. Well, you need to work on that. What's the action you need to do? What's the support? So I start doing that life scale with that to implement it. How does problem weight me down from 1 to 20? If the number is high, I have to scale it down. And how pain, like how do you feel about pain? How much pain do you have in your life? So it's a scale, up or down.
Exactly. And that's how we've got to go. We've got to just do it, Ali. Just do it. Like I keep saying, walking by faith, just doing it. And your gut feeling knows it's going to work out, it's going to happen. And people around us, that's why it's important to have those around you to support you, because some people are dream killers. They will kill your dream.
It's true.
You can't do that. You don't have the skill set. You don't have the education. You've never done that before. Dream killer. Okay. They're just living out their own limitations. This is why I say we walk by faith and not by what we see. Because what we see, Ali, we wouldn't be doing half the things that we already do or going to do or think of doing. Because in the natural, what we see, oh my goodness, how am I going to do that? But do you know what? I have this gut feeling. I'm going for it and I'm doing it and it works out.
Beautiful, beautiful say. And that will lead us to the next question, Tanya. Does intention or purpose link to the vision? When you have a vision of your life and you live it, can you live your vision before you reach it?
It's all about visualization for me, I think, because you have this vision of what you want.
Mm-hmm.
And I say to people, okay, what is it that you want to do? You visualize it. We always visualizing things. When we go to buy a car or buy a dress or buy a suit, we visualize it. We think about it. We can see ourselves in it. We can see ourselves walking in it. We can see ourselves driving it, what color it's going to be, all those things. Just like our vision.
Mm-hmm.
We think about our vision, and then we see ourselves writing that book, starting that business, you know, getting a promotion, whatever it is. We visualize it. Then we write it down. This is what we want to do. And I encourage people, write down your goals and dreams. Then I have a vision board because, you know, it aligns your brain with the outcomes that you want to see. So I'm seeing it all the time and aligning myself. And then it's the action steps, because it's not going to just happen. Just, oh, I've got this goal and that's it. It's about then writing it down. What are the actionable, productive steps that I need to take to get there? For example, writing my books. I didn't just say I want to write a book and think about it and it just was there.
Mm-hmm.
I had the vision. I saw myself, you know, writing it. It's out there. And then I became a best-selling author for my first book. I visualized it all and it happened. What did I do? I took the productive action steps. I had a plan.
Mm-hmm.
My slogan that I like to say is plan it, see it, and anticipate it. I planned it, I saw it, and I knew it was going to take place. So I had a plan. I wrote my book, and now it's out. It's on Amazon, become a best-selling author. Wrote my second book.
Congratulations.
Thank you. So it's about having that plan. So yes, we visualize it, and then we act upon it. We have to take the action steps in order for it to manifest.
Mm-hmm. So vision is daily planning of what you want to achieve, and with affirmation, with believing, and with action. It's not
Yes.
just not like, yes, I visualize like a nice big mansion house and just lay down and just sitting and thinking, yes, I want to achieve that. That's
Yeah.
not.
It's about the action. You've got to take action towards whatever it is that you want to do. You've got to take action. Yes,
Mm-hmm.
we have these goals and dreams, but then how is it going to take place? It's taking action.
Mm-hmm. Action, like
Mm,
vision tied up with action, get your
come on.
result.
And run with it. Run with that. Yes.
Exactly. Grab it and don't look to the nice hair. To the dream killer.
The dream killer's coming.
Does the dream killer come from us too sometimes?
Sorry.
Can we be the dream killer of our dream?
Oh, that's a great question. Yes, we can. Well, I don't know about anybody else, but I can talk myself out of a lot of things. I can't do that. Oh no, I don't have the right skills to do that. I'd love to do that. No, I couldn't do it. And I have this conversation with myself, and it's like I've taught myself out of a lot of things in the past because of this negative self-talk. But I always say to people, there's a quote that I love. It says, tell that negative committee in your mind to shut up and sit down.
and,
We have to just tell
and watch me achieving it.
So yes, we can be our own dream killers, but that's why I say to fortify your mind. What are you reading? What are you watching? What, you know, all those things, that self-talk, that positive self-talk. We've got to create this warm environment so we can grow and develop, and then, you know, less and less then the negative talk, or when it does come, we replace it with positivity. So we've got to get ourselves out of the way.
Beautiful, beautifully said. I really like that, because fortifying your mind, fortifying, align it with action, that's get us results. And sometimes I like I like what you say too, because sometimes that happened to me too. Like I get you could sometimes you watch like a motivational speech or something, and it gets so fired up, you
Yeah.
get so excited to want to achieve it, And you, as the moment you decide you want to do it, the subconscious crawling down, coming like, what do you think you're doing? You think you want to do that? Go back to your failing, your failure zone. I used to do that, and they believe it is okay. Yeah, yeah, you're right. I fail in many things, so I think that's not for me. But now, if you have something, you have to do it 21 days, because subconscious will walk the walk of shame and say, oh, he's really serious, this guy, he's
Yeah.
doing it, like I shouldn't talk to him, I just have to support him, give him my blessing, and tell him go for it. So our mind is very powerful, as you mentioned at the beginning. The mindset, how we set our mind, how we cultivate that morning positive think in the morning, how the environment, the friend, what we read, what we eat, what we say to ourselves, the communication to ourselves before we communicate to others. And that's the set to set our mind and to get our vision aligned with what we want to achieve.
Yes, definitely.
So this is really, I feel this is like, wow, like very powerful what you shared with me here, like it's just meaningful, purpose life. A lot of people need that and they want it. And let me tell you, I was lost. I was in a big mess, but now my mess is like my message. My lost and
Yeah,
my rejection is my direction now. So
yeah,
I see it and they look at it as like a book, like looking at it and just thanks God for sending this to me. I am the
yeah,
one, like Mr. Brown said, I am the one
yeah,
chosen because God chose the one who won and
yeah.
send them obstacle if they know the meaning of that obstacle and they use it for their benefit, not just be a victim and say, oh, it's me. and this and they stay there forever. Like pain happened to our life for a reason, but we can't avoid it. But the
Yeah,
sufferance, we choose to suffer
yeah. And it's
because
about
we.
rewriting our story, isn't it? Yeah, we've been through stuff. We can all talk about what we've been through. It happened to me. Woe is me. Having a pity party. No one's invited. All that type of stuff. Yeah, I've been through some stuff. But I tell you what, every time this song says, "I get knocked down, but I get up again." You're
There we
never
go.
gonna keep me down. Never. So every time I get knocked down, I'm getting back up again, and I'm coming back stronger. And it's about the lessons that we learn through when we fall and we keep getting up because we're stronger than we think. So keep getting up, keep rising, and keep going for it. And yeah, like you said, turning our mess into a message to encourage others and inspire others to say, do you know what? Yeah, you've been through some stuff, but you know, your what you're going to is greater than what you left. So don't let your past define who you are because you're greater than that.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Beautiful. This is actually, I heard it yesterday. I did a podcast with Michael Bridgman, and he shared this turn a mess to a message. And Michelle Borel also, I did an interview with her the other day, and I like when she bring the high five. The high five is like high five. Choose your five people that motivate you, that keep you. So the high five. So they get you, they steer you, they keep you accountable, and you align yourself with them. So they keep you in the right direction. So
Yes,
intentional living is a secret that each one need to tap into that because it's the greatness. And when we taste the purpose, we taste the meaningful life, we will never go back to the big mess that we were at.
exactly.
And thank you very much, Tarnia, for sharing this with us. It's amazing. You are a lady full of wisdom, lady full of knowledge, and keep doing what you are doing because
Thank
inspiring
you.
people, motivating them to tap into their great potential. That's
Thank
the
you.
way it should be. It's all about
Yes.
service and significance.
Yes, I like that. Yes, definitely.
Service
Yes.
and significance. To wrap up this, my friend Tarnia, any last word to this beautiful audience?
Three
And
words that I will leave with you. Plan it. Plan it. Be intentional about it. Set your goals daily. See it. Visualize it. Visualize you being there, doing it, whatever your goals are. Anticipate it. Know that it's going to happen. So plan it, see it, and anticipate it.
let me write this: planet, see it,
And anticipate it.
anticipated. Three words of Tarnia: to live an intentional life. Beautiful. Love it. Love
Thank
it.
you.
Well, thank you very much, Tanya, for accepting my invitation. It's
Thank
sending
you.
a lot of intentional purpose life all the way from Manchester, all the way to Canada, and to this
Yeah.
beautiful audience that listening to this. For Ali Dose of Inspiration, I hope to inspire you, this beautiful audience, and looking forward to see you on another podcast. Thank you very much, Tanya. Appreciate it.
Thank
And
you.
it's a pleasure and honor to have you on my podcast.
Thank you for the